Hello, hello, it's Blue coming to you live from Gen Con final day. And today we have another interview with the community, and this time someone special to the community. First, how about you introduce yourself and tell us what you do with Altered?
Yeah. Hi, I'm François. I'm one of the game designers for Altered, and I was the lead game designer for Whispers from the Maze.
All right.
Nice.
So, as far as being a designer, what can you tell us goes into designing a specific card, let alone a whole set, as far as Whispers from the Maze?
Yeah. That's a big question because there's lots of things going on to designing one card, and a whole set is so many cards, so you have to take so much things into account. For example, limited, the different mana costs. So there's a curve. There's cards, enough cards at 1, 2, 3, and there's still some that have a higher mana cost, like 4, 5, 6, 7, and plus. So you have to take everything into account. You need to think about every hero. Does it have enough to eat in that set? And still, when you make a specific card that is for hero, can it still be played in a limited format? So there's a lot of things to take into consideration when you are designing a set. And for every card that you put, you have to say, does it work in the entirety of the set? And does it also work in the constructed format? Or is it okay if this card is not designed for that format? Like, is it okay if we have X amount of cards that won't be good in limited because they will be terrific in constructed, and vice versa? So there's a lot of things you have to take into account when you are doing a set. I can't like list them all. So there's too many constraints, but there's a lot of things you have to think about.
For example,
Yeah.
you said you had to consider both constructed and limited.
Yes.
Do you try to make the idea of some type of cohesiveness there so where it works well with constructed, but also you make a card specifically that might work well with others and limited? For me, for example, you're talking Whispers from the Maze.
Yes.
The Itsadi counters and things that reduce counters, for example, I'm assuming that was intentional. And it works really well in limited, for example.
Yeah.
I know everyone's had dealt with like bug fix and drafts or sealed or something like that, pre-releases. Is that definitely something you want to focus on when it comes to a set like Whispers from the Maze?
I think some sets are more heavily for constricted, or some are more heavily in limited. From Whispers from the Maze, we have tried very early on to make sure the limited format would be good, and that was one of our main focus. And during the conception phase, there was much more remove counters, add counters, spend counters. You could even target heroes. So that things went crazy, like really crazy. So we had to turn it down a bit. So it wasn't like broken and constructed. But yeah, there's lots of things going on when you have to make sure that everything is cohesive through the set, and everything works. For Whispers from the Maze, it's around the reserve. So we had to make sure everything worked around the reserve. Then you also have to make sure that there's enough for constructed and enough for limited. And sometimes there are cards that do bridges for those three aspects of the game: the set itself, constructed, and limited.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear the idea of like sets being specific for certain types of game types kind of thing. So glad to hear about that. Next question though, as far as I'll have it two parts. As far as Whispers from the Maze, do you have a specific card that you enjoyed making the most?
Uh, there's a few. I think the card I enjoyed the most designing is Fiore, because I like mini game cards, and I think it's one good example. And another one is Man in the Maze. I think those are two great mini game cards, and I had a lot of fun designing them. So throughout the set development. I also love the Hunger, which was one of the hardest cards to design, because we wanted to make sure it felt like it is the big bad. And we also wanted to make sure it would be a high cost card, but as everybody knows, high cost cards in Altered are really hard to make so that they are good and worthwhile. So first, there's a lot of iteration on that card. I think it's probably the one that changed the most throughout the phase of development for Altered. I think there was between 10 or 15 designs for the Hunger until we settled on this one that I really love. So I'm really glad about that card. but I also love Fury and Man in the Maze.
Yeah, big fan
And
of.
Subduende. Subduende is a card that I love because I think it's a really good example of what the set is trying to do.
I agree. Also, a big fan of the hunger. Don't ever change it. Don't let anyone ever tell you that it's too powerful or anything. It's not. Anyway, and then the altered as a whole. Do you have favorite card? Another favorite card, not specifically for Whispers from the Maze.
Good question. There's a lot of cards that I love. I think I'll stick with the one I presented. First card I ever revealed from the game during the first ever AMA of Altered, and it's the Mighty Djinn. I love Mighty Djinn. I think it's in all of my Bravos deck, or maybe in every Bravos deck I make. There's so much versatility to it. In that side, I play the common. In every other deck, I play the rare because I want that draw. I think it's overall a great card that is great.
Big fan of all the Jins, to be honest. Mighty Jin. Okay, so we talked about favorite cards a little bit. Now, same question, but potential least favorite cards or cards that you would, if you had the chance to maybe potentially go back and take a look at again.
Hmm. I've well, one card that did not see the light of day because I hated it as it was, and thankfully I managed to convince the other game designer that it was not a good idea that it launched like it was. Is Baku. At some point it was a 3-1-1-1-1, and that was for me not a good experience because like starting end, you play a card, you get Baku, you have one card, you can't play it. It's really tough. So I felt like it wasn't a good experience for Altered, and I convinced them to change it to the 4-2 that we have, and so that's one of my biggest success because I don't like discarding my cards from my hand. I hate that. I want to play my cards. So I understand why people like Eric Intox loves that card. He always plays that card. So I don't ever play against him because I want to keep my cards in hand. But yeah, no, I think that's a card. The card I most fight for was this one. Apart from that, there are probably cards I would like to tweak to make a bit stronger or a bit weaker, but no card I feel like I would want to kill or change or go back from scratch. Maybe one will pop up, but I don't see one popping up like right now. And oh no, we shouldn't have that card in the game. I think it's okay. There's none.
Not even any specific heroes that people might be complaining about that may be a specific color or anything like that.
Uh, I wouldn't kill it. Maybe I would do a few tweaks, like I said, to bring it a bit further down. But yeah, I wouldn't kill it. I think it's good to have strong heroes that represent their faction.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, at this point, we need a good hero in that faction. If anyone wants to guess which one it is, you can get. All right. Past the cards itself, and other than the job being a designer, what's one of your favorite things as far as being involved with Altered and the community and everything along those lines?
Good question. Uh, I love being like things like that. To be honest, being able to interact with the community, answer questions, game design questions, most of all because I think it's really interesting, and I like talking about my jump. So, but like doing the boss battles was awesome. Seeing stories and being created around the community and meeting people, seeing them engage with the game, engage with us, and having all of those beautiful moments that they tell you or that you live together and create together is something awesome. Especially when you can see that face to face, like not through the Discord. And it's amazing opportunity to come here and meet the US community because we are so far apart that it's not often we can see and interact with you. So Gen Con has been a treat, and that's one of the most. I also no, maybe the thing I love the most is seeing people buy starter decks and starting to engage with the game, discover it, and say, oh, you can do that, oh, you can do that, and that's awesome, an awesome feeling to see people. Like, I was talking to someone yesterday, and he told me he lost a magic deck where he had 2 Moxes and some other great cards that were and villains, and so he was so sad that he lost them. He told me a convincing argument for him was that that can't happen in Altered. So seeing all of these little things that make the difference and bring people into the game, so is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, always great to meet people in person. Like, obviously, we have a lot of stuff going on through the Discord, right? But just actually being able to meet the people in person, and like you mentioned, being right next to the booth there where they're selling the cards and you can see it happen. And I know I even saw you once or twice helping out with the learn to plays.
Yes.
And you're not even getting, that's not specifically your job, right? So you actually enjoy doing it, right?
Yes, I do enjoy the learn to plays. I've done a lot, and it's always a pleasure to taught people the game, because I love the game. I love meeting people. I love seeing how people react and how they take up to the game. So it's always awesome, and I think it's one of the greatest chances we have to give that moment where people find the game and say, "Oh, it's different. It feels good. I like it," and it's a great moment.
Last question before we get into some, I guess, second to last question.
Okay.
But any hints, or what are you currently working on once you get back to France?
Oh, so any hints? I've been working on Unix for set 5, and I can honestly say that I'm very, very proud of them. I think they're awesome, and I can't wait for players to see them and play with them, because I feel like they're really, really great. We put a lot of work into them, huge amount of work into them. I think set 5 has great stuff waiting for players, and I can't wait for it to be revealed and for players to get their cards and try those unique cards out and everything else that is in set 5, and because I worked so hard on set 5. But in the meantime, I think set 4 will be awesome. It's so beautiful. The arts are gorgeous. The new heroes are awesome. So it's going to be a great time. And once I get back to France, I'll probably be still working on the Unix for the next set.
Something to look forward to for everyone out there. But yeah, other than that, obviously going to the fourth set, closing out this whole thing. You mentioned you like going to these events here in the U.S. Obviously, you like going to them over there in Europe as well.
Oh, yeah.
Any plans for your next event that you're going to?
Oh, next event that I'll be attending for sure will be the World Championship, and I can't wait to see the community there. It's going to be awesome. It's such a privilege to be a part of this World Championship, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. So I will be there for Worlds. And apart from that, I don't know. I'm not sure. I still haven't chosen which conventions and event I will be attending, because we are sometimes fighting to see which one will go where. And this year I got to go to Gen Con. So next year, I don't know still, but I will be there for Worlds.
World Championships might be not a bad place to go to. I know I'm hoping to be able to go there. The plan is to take a nice little French vacation, maybe a week or two, and then stop by a World Championship tournament.
I hope we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Other than that, that'll close things out. I want to thank you one more time, and we'll go finish out Gen Con.